Hi friends, today we talked about using negative numbers to make sense of context, and we looked at that through the use of tables, a concession stand and a vending machine, as well as making money and spending money. So in the first question, 5.1, it says, notice and wonder, it comes in and goes. You have this table, and the idea is that you're supposed to notice something and then wonder something about it. So I noticed that there are positive and negative numbers. I'm gonna write M for notice. There are positive and negative numbers. I also noticed that positive means that you gain money, and negative means that you lose money. I am wondering, so my wonder is I'm wondering why, I can wonder where they went to lunch. And I'm wondering if petting a dog is really free. So that's just a routine we do in class. We notice and wonder things about what we see. There's no right or wrong answer here. It's just to really get us thinking about what it is that we see and to question what it is that we see instead of just taking things as is. In the next activity that we did, we looked at the concession stand. And so this is, if you've ever been to a sports game, and you have a concession stand, they sell things at the concession stand. And the idea is that they make money either for the school or for an organization. It just depends on what they're selling. So this says that the manager of the concession stand keeps records of all the supplies she buys and the items she sells. The table shows some of the records for Tuesday. So a table is a great way to organize information so that you can keep track of things. One thing that I talked about in class is that people, if you do have a concession stand, you want to know what it is that you are selling and what you're not selling, so that you order the things that you're selling and you don't continue to order the things that do not sell. That's how you make money. It's also good to keep track of what you have as well, because if something goes missing, you want to know when it went missing. It makes life so much easier to have a good organizational system. So the first question says, which items did she sell? Notice that quantity here tells us that she lost items and that she gained items. So a negative number means that she lost items or that she sold them. And a positive number means that she bought items and put them back in stock. It's just like if you go to the grocery store, someone has to restock those shelves with the items that you love to eat. So which items did she sell? She sold donuts, hot dogs, apples, and French fries. And I know this, so I'll explain reasoning. Negative numbers indicate a loss of items or the selling of items. And I'm looking at the quantity tab there. So in this situation, how can we interpret negative 58 in this situation? That means that she sold 58 donuts. And then it asks, how can we interpret negative 10 and 35/100ths in this situation? Well, over here, this is a value in dollars. And so notice that the quantity here is positive. So she actually spent money buying straws. So she bought straws. So 10.35 or $10.35 represents how much it costs to purchase them. or to restock. And then it says, on which item did she spend the most amount of money? And then explain your reasoning. So what does she spend most of her money on? Not how much did she gain, but so you're looking for the largest negative number. So she spent, so that's pizza. And you could say negative $116.87 is the most she spent on items for her concession stand. Right? So that is the second activity that we did, looking at that table and then answering these questions. All right, and then the last thing that we looked at today is we looked at a vending machine. So you'll see the table for the vending machine here. You'll notice that there are positive and negative numbers, and there's also 0 in that table. So it says a vending machine in an office building sells bottled beverages. The machine keeps track of all the changes in the number of bottles from sales and from machine refills and maintenance. This record shows the changes for every 5-minute period over 1 hour. So it's showing the change to the vending machine over here, and our job is to go through and answer questions based off of what we see. So it says, what might a positive number mean? So positive number means that the machine is being restocked. So bottles restocked. And then negative means bottles sold. Right? Because you purchase it and then the bottle is taken away. What would a 0 in the second column mean in the situation? 0 means no change. So like nothing happened. Like there's no change in the amount of bottles, no change to amount of bottles. Which numbers, positive or negative, results in fewer bottles in one machine? Negative. Numbers results in less bottles because they're being sold. At what time was there the greatest change to the number of bottles in the machine? The greatest change happened at 8:50 to 8:54. And 24 bottles were added to the machine. To the machine. So that was the greatest change, and 24 bottles were added to the machine because 24 is positive. At which time period, 8:05 to 8:09 or 8:25 to 8:29, was there a greater change to the bottles in the machine? So 8:05 is up here, plus 12, 8:29, negative 12. They're the same. Because 12 and negative 12 are equal distances from 0. And then the last question said that the machine must be empty to be serviced. If there are 40 bottles in the machine, when it is to be serviced, what number will go in the second column? Negative 40, because negatives represent taking bottles out of machine. All right, so that's today's lesson.